Good morning, distinguished representatives. I'm pleased to call to order this regular meeting of the Permanent Council. But before proceeding to consider the draft order of business, let me congratulate, on behalf of the Permanent Council, the peoples and governments of the following countries for the recent commemoration of their National Day. Peru on July 28th, Jamaica August 6th, and Bolivia August 6th as well. Congratulations. Pursuant to the provisions of Article 43 of the Rules of Procedure of the Permanent Council, we shall proceed to adopt the order of business for this morning's meeting, document CP/OD 2243. If there are no comments, the draft order of business is hereby adopted. Approved. We would now proceed to the next item on the order of business, which is the consideration of the draft resolution, change of date of the second meeting of the Subsidiary Technical Working Group on the Prevention of Crime, Violence and Insecurity of the meetings of ministers responsible for public security in the Americas, the MISPA, convened by Resolution CP-Res 1125, proposed by the Permanent Mission of Honduras through document CP-Doc.5544. If delegations have no objection to the draft resolution as presented by the Permanent Mission of Honduras, we shall proceed to approve it. Approved. We must now consider the third item on the order of business, the presentation of the draft distribution of mandates assigned by the General Assembly at its 49th regular session and other previous sessions, Doc CP 5545/19, correction 1. As representatives may be aware, Article 30 of the Rules of Procedure of the Permanent Council provides that the Permanent Council shall distribute the mandates of each General Assembly among its different committees, subcommittees, and working groups. In keeping with the Rules of Procedure, the Secretariat has prepared, for the consideration of the Member States, the proposed distribution of mandates assigned by the General Assembly at its 49th regular session. The proposed distribution of mandates, document CP/Doc 5545/19, correction 1, was drawn up according to the criteria of assigning, implementation, and follow-up of the General Assembly mandates to the committees for which the proposal emanated, within whose framework the original proposals were submitted. I offer the floor to delegations for comments and/or amendments to the proposed distribution of mandates. The delegation of Argentina has the floor.
Muchas gracias, señora presidenta. Simplemente queremos hacer una observación y una sugerencia con relación a la distribución en el Consejo Permanente de la resolución 2942 sobre fortalecimiento de la ética, la supervisión y la transparencia de la Organización de los Estados Americanos. Simplemente queremos reflexionar acerca de que esa resolución tiene la mayoría de sus cometidos, están alojados en la CAP, en la Comisión de Asuntos Presupuestarios, por lo tanto, entenderíamos en un primer movimiento que esta resolución debería ser tratada en la CAP. Tengo algunos argumentos para tener en cuenta. Por ejemplo, tenemos que el párrafo resolutivo 1 sobre ética, acoso, reitera y complementa el resolutivo 25 de la resolución del programa de presupuestos sobre la declaración de conflicto de interés y reconocimiento de conducta aceptable que debe ser firmada por todo el personal, y teniendo en cuenta asimismo que su párrafo resolutivo 2 sobre auditoría y transparencia modifica y complementa el resolutivo 33 de la resolución del programa de presupuesto y pide a la CAP que presente un informe de avance sobre el seguimiento a las recomendaciones de la Junta de Auditores Externos a presentarse el 1 de noviembre, además de una respuesta. Esta sería una de las razones por las cuales se considera adecuado que se le asigne a la Comisión de Asuntos Administrativos y Presupuestarios. Pero si hubiese alguna otra opinión, estamos abiertos a escucharla. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Argentina. The United States, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chair. The United States would agree that generally that the resolution on ethics, oversight, and transparency should be moved to the CAP. We agree with Argentina, who have very ably led the CAP. There are a few elements in the resolution which specifically call for work to be done by the General Secretariat to report to the Permanent Council, and et cetera. But I think in general it should be moved to the CAP, and then there might be a few points that are specified within the resolution that would be done either by the General Secretariat or reports to the Permanent Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The United States. Since there are no further objections, the chair would agree that the res mandate 2942 would be moved to the CAP. There being no further requests for the floor, the chair suggests that the council approve the distribution of mandates contained in document CP/Doc 5549, correction 1, with the amendments proposed by the delegation. Approved. We will now proceed with the elections of the new members of the working group to examine the national reports envisioned in the Protocol of San Salvador. As you will remember, this is an item that has been included in the agenda at the request of the Secretary General, contained in document CP/Doc.5546/19. The chair proposes that we proceed with the election of the new governmental experts of the working group to examine the national reports envisioned in the Protocol of San Salvador in compliance with the provision of the update of the appendix, composition and functioning of the working group to examine the national reports envisioned in the Protocol of San Salvador. And that was document CP/Doc 5363/17, which was adopted by the General Assembly through resolution AG Res 2928. As established in this document, the working group for the Protocol of San Salvador will be composed by 4 governmental experts who must have recognized competence in economic, social, and cultural rights, and 2 independent experts who must be academics, members of civil society organizations, or people with recognized competence in the DESC matters, and 1 member of the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, or its special rapporteur on economic, social, and cultural and environmental rights. As set forth in the Rule of Procedural Norms of the WGPSS, in accordance with the mandates set forth in Resolution Ag Res 2074, if a position becomes vacant in the working group due to the resignation of a member, the resignation must be presented in writing to the president of the working group, who must immediately notify the Secretary General of the OAS of this vacancy. In accordance with the aforementioned appendix, every time a position becomes vacant, the Secretary General of the OAS will request in writing for the state's party to present their candidates within 60 days of being notified of the vacancy. Once this deadline expires, the election shall take place at the first meeting of the Permanent Council held 30 days after the expiration of the aforementioned deadline. On January 30th, 2019, Mr. Marcelo Diaz Varela, the WGPSS governmental expert from Brazil, communicated his resignation to the President, Andrés Sagolia, producing a vacant position for the governmental experts. The two parties of the protocol presented the following candidates before the expiration of the deadline. For the governmental experts from Colombia, Mr. Ricardo Arias Macias, and from Panama, Ms. Urena A. Bess Gale. On August 1st, 2019, the Secretary General of the OAS requested the President of the Permanent Council to schedule an election for the governmental expert to take place at the first regular meeting of the Permanent Council, held after August 5th. Having said that, we will proceed to the election of one governmental expert. The election will be secretly among the 16 state parties to the Protocol of San Salvador, and they are Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Suriname, and Uruguay. That's 16. I then request the Secretariat to distribute the voting cards among the 16 parties to the Protocol of San Salvador, reminding them that voting is secret, that the ballots must indicate a maximum of one candidate, and that the candidate who obtains the vote of the majority of the states party to the protocol will be declared elected. Sorry, I now give the floor to Colombia. Is this a... Yes?
Gracias, presidente. Para manifestar que Colombia retira la candidatura del doctor Ricardo Arias.
Thank you very much, Colombia. In that case, then by acclamation, Ms. Urea A. Bess Gale would be elected to the position. And in that case, the chair would like to express congratulations to Ms. Gale and to wish her successful deliberations as a governmental expert on the working group for the analysis of national report provided for in the Protocol of San Salvador. This now takes us to item number 5, the last item on the agenda, which is any other business. If delegations have any matters of an informative nature they'd like to bring to our attention, the United States, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I'm conscious of the time of all the members, but I did want to note the passing of esteemed author and Princeton humanities professor Toni Morrison. For her work and impact, Morrison was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1993. In 1996, the National Endowment for the Humanities selected her for the Jefferson Lecture, the U.S. federal government's highest honor for achievement in the humanities. In 2012, Morrison was presented with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Today, we join the family and many admirers of Toni Morrison in celebrating her life. Morrison was a woman of strength and had a profound impact on the readers the world over. Her parents instilled a sense of heritage and language through telling traditional African-American folk tales and ghost stories and singing songs. In 1949, she enrolled in the historically black Howard University here in Washington, seeking the company of fellow black intellectuals. Over the course of her career, Madam Chair, Morrison played a vital role in bringing black literature into the mainstream within the United States. It's important to recall that as we all work to advance and support the 2015 to 2024 International Decade for People of African Descent. She was also beloved in her own hemisphere. For example, during a 1995 reading in Mexico City, Morrison was greeted by a huge crowd of fans. The audience was asked if they wanted an interpreter, but instead they wanted to hear her in her own words. So I just wanted to note this because this is a very important person, and I think it's worth bringing to the attention of the Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much, United States. I now offer the floor to Panama.
Sí, muy buenos días, señora presidenta, embajador Smith, señor secretario general Néstor Méndez, embajadores presentes, delegados todos. Panamá agradece la oportunidad de ocupar esta nueva posición. Le damos las gracias a las delegaciones que tenían la intención de apoyarnos, a las delegaciones que habían comprometido su voto con el otro candidato. También agradecemos, todos compartimos que escogemos el mejor candidato en beneficio de la organización y aseguramos que no gana Panamá, gana la institución. Tenemos una buena candidata que seguramente hará una muy buena representación. Muchas gracias a todos.
Thank you very much, Panama. Seeing no more requests for the floor, this brings us to the end of this meeting, a very brief but fruitful meeting, and it is so adjourned. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll see you later on at the forum at 2 o'clock upstairs.